Here's the question. Can you build muscle on carnivore without carbs? Yes, and the reason is simple, but wildly misunderstood. Carbs don't build muscle. Amino acids do. Carbs can help you train hard in certain contexts, but they are not the muscle-building ingredient. Protein is. But before we dive in, drop a heart in the comments if you've been enjoying my content. My job is to help you think outside the box and acquire the knowledge that will lead you to achieving metabolic health. And don't forget to like this video while you're there. Let's talk about muscle. Picture muscle like the house being built. Protein equals the bricks made up of amino acids. Training equals the construction crew. Mechanical tension plus progressive overload. Sleep equals the overnight repair team. Calories equal the budget that keeps the project from getting shut down. Hormones equal the permits and the project managers. Carbs are not the bricks. Carbs are more like a tool rental, helpful for some jobs, not required to build the house. Now let's crush the main myth. A lot of people believe you need carbs because insulin is anabolic. Insulin matters, but here's the lesser known nuance. Insulin is mostly permissive for muscle building when amino acids are present. In other words, you don't need a huge insulin spike from carbs to build muscle. You need enough insulin to open the door. And then amino acids plus training do the real work. Even more interesting, research has shown that adding carbohydrate to protein doesn't necessarily increase muscle protein synthesis when protein is already adequate. So if someone says no carbs means no insulin means no muscle, that's like saying no front yard fireworks means the house can't be built. It's dramatic, but it's not construction science. Here's what actually triggers muscle growth. Number 1, mechanical tension. Lift progressively heavier over time. Number 2, essential amino acids, especially leucine. Number 3, enough total protein across the day. Number 4, enough energy or calories so your body can afford new tissue. Of these 4, leucine is the celebrity here. Think of leucine as the start building text message to your muscle cells, largely through mTOR signaling. And carnivore? Carnivore is basically a leucine and essential amino acid delivery system wearing a steak costume. Now let's address the thin person concern, because this is where people get confused. Many people try keto carnivore in a calorie deficit, often unintentionally. They lose fat, lose water weight, and then conclude, I'm getting smaller. This diet can't build muscle. But early size changes on low carb often include water shifts, not actual muscle loss. Each gram of glycogen is stored with at least 3 grams of water. So a carb drop can make lean mass look like it fell, even when muscle tissue didn't. That's why I tell people, don't panic when the mirror does something weird in the first few weeks. Your body is rearranging fuel storage, not deleting your biceps. Now let's talk about what the science says about resistance training plus ketogenic style diets. Multiple studies and reviews in trained people show that with resistance training, strength can improve and lean mass can be maintained and sometimes increased, while fat mass drops. Now, does every study show identical muscle gains compared to higher carb diets? No, especially if calories are too low, protein is too low, training quality drops during adaptation, or lean mass measurements are distorted by water glycogen differences. Some reviews highlight these caveats and suggest hypertrophy may be blunted in certain situations. Translation: you can absolutely build muscle on carnivore, but you still have to do the muscle building basics. Carnivore isn't a magical spell. It's a powerful metabolic environment that can support the process when you set it up correctly. Now here's a cool lesser known point. Ketones may be muscle sparing in certain conditions. Historically, ketones have been viewed as helping preserve muscle during low carb states. Human research has examined beta-hydroxybutyrate's effect on protein metabolism. And there's evidence for anti-catabolic effect in some contexts. That doesn't mean ketones automatically build muscle while you watch Netflix. It means ketosis may reduce some of the biological pressure to break tissue down, especially when paired with adequate protein and resistance training. Quick pause. If you're enjoying this and you want more root cause metabolism first content, not just eat less and move more motivational posters, hit like and subscribe. Your future self with better labs will thank you. Now, the practical blueprint for building muscle on carnivore, especially if you're naturally lean. First, train like you mean it. If the last rep looks identical to the first rep, your muscles didn't get the memo. 3 to 5 days a week resistance training. I personally only do 3 because I think recovery is so important, especially as we get older. Focus on big movements. Squat pattern, hinge pattern, press, pull, loaded carry. Progression matters more than novelty. Second, eat enough total protein. A solid evidence-based range for hypertrophy in most people is roughly 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilograms a day. More isn't always better, but undershooting is common. Carnivore makes hitting this easier because you're not playing protein hide and seek inside granola. Third, you need energy to build tissue. If you're thin and want muscle, you likely need a small calorie surplus. If you're never hungry on carnivore, some people aren't, you may need to be intentional. Slightly larger portions. Add fattier cuts. Include an extra meal for a season. Fourth, don't sabotage recovery. Muscle is built in recovery, not during the set. Sleep 7 to 9 hours when possible. Don't train like a superhero and sleep like a college freshman. Fifth, electrolytes and hydration. Low carb changes insulin and sodium handling. If you feel flat, weak, or crampy, don't assume it's lack of carbs. Sometimes it's lack of salt and fluids. And what about performance? If you're doing high volume bodybuilding sessions or CrossFit style training, you might notice a temporary dip during keto adaptation. That's not failure. That's biology learning a new fuel system. Some people choose targeted carbs around training. Others stay strict carnivore and adapt over time. The muscle building requirement is still the same. Progressive tension plus amino acids plus recovery. And if you're a clinician like me, here's the punchline for your patient's family member. If you're thin and under-muscled, carnivore can be a fantastic foundation because it often improves appetite regulation so you can eat consistently, supports stable energy, less crash and crave, delivers highly bioavailable protein, and reduces inflammatory noise that can interfere with training and recovery. And yes, some people, like me, gain weight on carnivore because they gain muscle. That's not the diet failing. That's your body saying, finally, real building materials. So if you're watching this worried you'll fade away into the night without carbs, relax. You don't need carbs to build muscle. You need a plan and a plate that actually contains what muscle is made of. And if you want to keep this conversation going in the comments without turning it into a food fight, tell us, are you trying to lose fat, build muscle, or both? And what's your favorite source of protein? Beef, lamb, chicken, pork, seafood. And as always, check the description for more resources and a playlist that'll help you build metabolic health from the root cause up. I'm Dr. Tony Hampton, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.